Have you ever gone into a big box store and bought a pair of shoes thinking that they were the right shoe for you? I'm going to start a brand new series to where I compare running specialty versus big box store, why you should shop run specialty, and what is the big deal with doing that. Dick's Sporting Goods, thinking that it would be a little bit different than what I was used to seeing and hearing about, and it pretty much was what I expected. Now, I will say in the shoe area, there was a young lady there who went up to me, went up to the other couple people who were over there and asked us if we needed help. Was kind of knowledgeable for being a college student. She worked in that type of environment for a few years, so she wasn't completely out of the know. She had a couple things that she didn't really know too much about, but other than that, I was kind of impressed with her, the way she was talking about some of the shoes and kind of her, customer service etiquette. And yeah, it was just, that was pretty eye opening to me. But for the most part, the products that you see in a big box store establishment like Dick's Sporting Goods, they're going to be pretty similar to what you see in a running specialty store. However, they did have brands that we sell at Bear Creek Running Company that you're only going to see at the premier spots. So Topo, for instance, Ultra, Puma. There are some brands that you're not going to see at a bigger establishment for different reasons because they're trying to focus on a specialty establishment to get people in the right type of shoe, first and foremost. These other brands like Hoka, Brooks, Asics, Nike, Adidas, New Balance, they're trying to do that too, but at the same time, they're trying to gain more sales basically to keep it short and simple. They're trying to push their products out to more and more customers. While it may not be the right place to like try on those shoes or to get the expertise that you're hoping that you're going to get, it's more about getting the customer in their products and getting them to try them out. I think that's what they're more focused on, and then seeing how they turn out is kind of like a hit or miss basically. Now, when you come to an establishment like where I'm at, we're immediately going to greet you. We're going to find out what you need the shoes for, what you've been using in the past, what's going on injury wise, if you've had any issues of plantar fasciitis, knee, hip, back pain, if you have inflammation going on in your knees, knee replacement, stuff like that. We're going to play 20 questions, is the way I like to put it, just to find out what kind of like a baseline, a foundation of where we start. And then we use what's called a brand device, which Dick's Sporting Goods did not have. Ever since COVID, they stopped using those, which is a crying shame because we disinfect ours and we're making sure people have their socks on. So you can always use safe precautions, but that is a key component in running specialty that big box stores lack is you want to make sure that the customer is getting in the right size shoe. Now, I did ask them at Dick's Sporting Goods if they, how they go about with the sizing, if somebody, you just go based on what the customer says. And that basically was it. That was like, it was a very short answer to my question, but they pretty much just guess. They're playing the guessing game, which is another difference between them and us. We're measuring your feet based on where your feet are on the brand device, obviously left and right foot, but also getting the width and then going up at least a half size to a full size from what you're measuring on the device. Now, there are exceptions to that, and it blows my freaking mind every single time. I had a kid not that long ago come in. He was at the 9.5 mark on both feet, or nine. He was at the 9 mark on both feet, and he was wearing 13s. And I've seen that time and time and time again, and it never ceases to amaze me why the people are wearing those type of shoes or what the size is. And women are just as guilty of it too. They're wearing too short a size shoe, and then men usually are wearing too big a size shoe. Now, not always. There's kind of some differences in the sizing compared on, or just depending on who it is. But for the most part, we're making sure we get you in the right size shoe. And then we'll watch you walk. And at Dick's Sporting Goods, they did not do that. They basically just go on what you like look wise. And then that's pretty much what they're going off of. Oh, my friend, my dad, my brother, my sister, my coworker, they said that Brooks is the best, so I need to wear Brooks. They said On is the best, so I need to wear On. They said Hoka, they said Asics. And honestly, that is not always the best way to approach any shoe fitting. I asked the girl, I was kind of trying to see if she would, like, how her skills were with selling me because I was playing dumb. I was like, I just wanted to find a shoe that I could run in and I could wear all day pretty much. And she said, well, based on my experience and what I sell or what I wear, which is the biggest no-no you do, you never base what you bring out or what you referred somebody to based on your own experience. You always want to base it on how the customer feels and fits in the shoe because every single person is different. I have a stack of shoes over here. I have On, Topo, Brooks, Hoka, Puma, and not one of those is a universal brand. There's no such thing as the best shoe or the universal shoe. Not everybody feels and fits the best in certain ones. So what she was doing with me was that she was telling me not to try Nike or Adidas because they mass produce their products too quickly, and also stay away from On as well for the same reason. She was telling me more to lean towards Brooks and Hoka because those are the best at what she wears and what she finds comfortable, which I'm going to tell you firsthand is a bad way to approach it because if the shoe does not work, immediately that customer is going to bring it back and blame you for it. Now, what you always want to do is you want to leave the ball in their court. You don't want to make the decision for them. You want to push them in making that decision because it's their feet. They're going to always try to put the ball back into your court, but you always have to push it back because you're not the one wearing them. You're not the one running in them. You're not the one walking around in them all day. And that's another thing that I was trying to get out of her to see if she was going to say something like that to me, but she didn't. She was basically just going off of her experience and what she felt the most comfortable in. And the other thing too was that she did say that rolling in was supinating and rolling out was pronating, which if you don't know this, it's the opposite. Pronation is when the arch area of your foot collapses inward, and then when your foot is rolling outward, it's called supination. It's just a key for thought, food for thought, I should say. But yeah, for the most part, though, she was nice. She was helpful for the most part. I was doing everything I could in my power to not intervene with this customer that was trying on ons. This husband and wife, they were like elderly, because it wasn't my place for one, but also I didn't want to get caught because I was taking quite a bit of footage of the shoes and what they carry and stuff just so I could show you guys. And I didn't want to get thrown out because they probably would have gotten butthurt if I was trying to encourage them to go actually to a store that cares about your well-being, that will get you in the right size shoe, will get you in the right type of shoe, and overall you'll have the best experience whatsoever. And that was the other thing too. When I walked right in, I didn't get greeted. It wasn't like a welcoming home type feel, which out of all the stores I've worked at over the past like 18-ish years now that I've been in running specialty, every single time we're encouraged to greet customers, whether they're trying to stay in for a minute or stay in for an hour. It's like, you're just wanting them to get their best experience possible so that they'll come back and be a customer for life. That's ultimately what makes us stand out from the rest, is that we're really truly caring about the people who are coming into our establishment, trusting us with their needs and with their wants, and then trying to help them to the best of our ability to achieve their goals. Mom actually came in a couple days ago, and she and her 14-year-old son loved coming to the store because the son actually said this. He was like, they know the products, they know what they're talking about, and I know that they're going to help me become a faster distance runner. And the mom even told me, coincidentally, I just thought about this, she went into Dick's Sporting Goods not that long before meeting her and bought a pair of, I think, Invincible threes, and she wanted my opinion on them. I told her, honestly, I haven't sold them or tried them on in a number of years, so I can't give you an honest opinion on them. I would be careful when going to a big box store getting products because what you see and what you try on in big box store establishments are completely different than what is in running specialty stores sometimes. They're made in different factories. The quality is different. I don't know how else to put it, but you literally would have to try one on at like a Dick's Sporting Goods or Academy or Foot Locker, and then come into an establishment like ours, like a mom and pop shop, and try on the exact same thing, and then you be the judge for yourself. All I know is that they're different and they feel different sometimes. So she was telling me, like, what do you think about the Invincible threes? I was like, based on your foot type, I wouldn't probably recommend it. She's wanting to stand all day. She's wanting to walk around, but her arch area severely collapses in, and that, to my knowledge, the Nike Invincible does not have that same support like a Nike Structure or I think, what was it called? It was a higher cushion stability shoe for Nike as well. I don't know if they still make it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head, unfortunately. But there are better options, is what I was telling her, and Nike. And yeah, this pretty much like she was very appreciative of what I was sharing with her, being honest about certain things about, this brand, this shoe is not the best for your foot type, even though they look cute. She was thinking about the On Cloud 6. I was like, it's a good walk around casual shoe if you want to look cute and you want to walk around in something that's convenient to put on and off. But if you're wanting to walk around for thousands of steps a day, it's probably not the best option for your feet. And, I'm just like, hey, I'll bring this out for you. I'll let you go with it if you want to. But here's my honest opinion on it. And here's what I think will probably end up happening. There's not always a guarantee with certain things like that. But, just being open and honest with the customer about it instead of just giving them a $150 shoe and sending them on their way. You always want to try to be the best servant to them, because ultimately we're getting paid to be nice and we're getting paid to be honest with people. We're not trying to take advantage or be greedy and not try to upsell people. If you ever go into a like a corporate type specialty store or a non mom and pop shop, you'll see what I'm talking about. We're just trying to be the best possible resource for people, and being able to tell people like, hey, here's what I would recommend. You don't have to, but here's a honest recommendation based on what you've been telling me and what I've been noticing, and what I guess you can bring your experience into it as well. But always you want to keep your experience the last point. Like, that's not the first, that's not the most important. How they feel in the shoes and how they are responding to what they're feeling, that's the most important thing. Because ultimately, if it's not comfortable when they first put them on, it's not going to be comfortable miles and miles down the road. There were quite a bit of employees there, like folding, and were kind of like in their own world, which I guess was okay. But at the same time, is like, if you are wondering about how this fits or this feels, whether it's shoes or apparel, or what do I do with this foam roller? What about these socks? And what about these inserts? They're not probably going to know what you're talking about. And that's the advantage of going to a running specialty, is that we're trained in a lot of the areas that are in the store, if not all of them, and at least can point you to somebody in the store who will have a better knowledge if we don't know anything about it. There is a store that you guys want me to check out just so that you can have better knowledge and wisdom on what you should look for, what you should watch out for. Please let me know down in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please click that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Welcome to the Toka Tribe if you have. If you didn't check out the last video or the last podcast episode, please go check those out. The links will be in the description below. And until next time, I will see y'all on the other side.